Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. I bid you a fond welcome to the 34th commencement of the North Penn High School. You see before you 719 of the finest young people that this country has to offer. I want you, family and friends, to know that I have been indeed proud and privileged to be their principal during the past 2 years, and I want you also to know that I am in love with 719 beautiful young people. The Old Testament says in the 3rd chapter of Ecclesiastes, "To everything there is a season and a time and purpose under the heaven, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to keep silence and a time to speak." As these words that I utter, they do have meaning for us tonight. For this is a time for a joyous celebration on this sad but happy occasion. And this is a time for quiet reflection and respect for others. This is a time for listening and applauding, for celebration and quiet, oh so quiet reflection. Let's please be sure that we keep these times separate as we proceed this evening, respecting the seriousness of this occasion as well as the happiness of this class. I'd like this time to invite Mr. Don Venema, Director of Secondary Education, to the podium for the invocation. Please stand one more time, if you would.
In the excitement of this night and the quiet of the moment, we pray for an attitude of thanksgiving. We are thankful for many things. Among these, we value the growth and accomplishments of our children. We pray for the ability to appreciate others. We pray for the ability to be happy for others. Tonight provides a marker, a highlight in the lives of our graduates and their families. Tonight, we celebrate the success of these fine young people. We pray for continued guidance. We pray for direction. And among these prayers, we seek peace for the world, a secure future for all people, and the courage to seek new horizons. Amen.
Would you be seated, please? On behalf of the staff and administration of the North Penn School District, I want to extend this evening to this group of fine young people, North Penn's finest, my heartiest congratulations on reaching this milestone in your life. This is a beginning for you, not an end. It is a rite of passage into adulthood and into the next adventure of your life, whether it be post-secondary education, the world of work, the military, or whatever. I want to speak for a moment in terms of where you find yourselves at this time and in terms of the education that has brought you to this point. It gives me great pride to attest to the fact that these 700+ young women and men have completed the educational requirements in an extremely fine school district, and they stand tonight in testimony to a strong education which has equipped them for a very successful post-secondary career. This is in tribute also to all of the teachers and administrators, board members, community members, school staff and personnel who have helped to make this moment possible for you. I know that tonight your gratitude lies with each and every one of these people who have helped you to chart this course and have brought you to this successful point this evening. All of them wish you the heartiest congratulations and success for your future. I want at this time to thank each and every one of you of the graduation class of 1989 for all of the times that you extended yourselves as students to take maximum opportunity of every possible opportunity that you were given. The times when you extended yourself to an extracurricular sport, to involvement in a club, when you performed all of your academic requirements, homework, assignments, long-term, short-term assignments, all of those things which helped you to score success all the way along the line and brought you to this successful point this evening. You now see the fruits of your labors. You now can feel the sweet taste of success and can take that with you into your future and use it as a valuable lifelong lesson. Continue to take supreme advantage, complete advantage of every opportunity that comes your way. Take with you the lesson of utilizing every single opportunity to its utmost, because that is what will make the difference for you. And along the way, continue to believe and continue to invest yourself in your community, no matter where that may be. Continue to give back to the community, to this nation, and to this world some of the gifts that have been so richly endowed on you. You are here tonight because of a substantial investment on the part of the community and on the part of this school district, which has helped to make this possible for you. Go forth now and give back to your world in like fashion. Congratulations.
"We are all going on an expedition," said Christopher Robin as he got up and brushed himself off. "Going on an expedition," said Pooh eagerly. "I don't think I've ever been on one of those. Where are we going on this expedition?" "Expedition, silly old bear. It's got an X in it." "Oh," said Pooh. "I know, but he didn't really. We're going to discover the North Pole." "Oh," said Pooh again. "What's the North Pole?" "It's just a thing you discover," said Christopher Robin, not being quite sure himself. "Members of the class of 1989, we too are going on an expedition. I'm sure it's been quite a while since you have heard the Winnie the Pooh story, but this story is particularly appropriate today. We too are going on an expedition, and like Christopher Robin, we may know where we're headed, but there are still many uncertainties. Our expedition is also for everyone, because, like it or not, we are about to embark on it together. It's not the North Pole we are traveling to, but the whole world, for that's what is open to us. Our theme here tonight is a piece of sky. But I would like to talk to you first about a piece of earth. A good, solid piece of earth where we can lay our roots, for that is what our school and community have been. Our life so far has been a foundation. We have friends and family here on whom we can depend. This piece of earth on which we have grown has been a place of safety, a place of testing, and a place of trial. However happy we may be to leave, I think it's safe to say that we will all look back on these years with fondness and with pride. You, the class of 1989, have a lot to be proud of. Think back to when we were sophomores. Despite the fact that we were new at the high school, we set our mark immediately by winning the magazine sale. We then went on to set new precedents by holding Jello wrestling here in this gymnasium. During our junior year, we began to feel more comfortable, but that didn't slow us down. We won the magazine sale again and had a fantastic junior prom. This year, when many senior classes become apathetic, we not only won the magazine sale for an unprecedented third time, but sponsored the first ever semi-formal homecoming dance. We then went on to win the Powder Puff football game and had the best cheerleaders. And we also won the first ever Clash of the Classes spirit competition here at North Penn High School. I can't think of anything our class hasn't won. Then we capped the year off with a fabulous prom, class night, reflections, and finally, tonight. These are just the class activities. When you also add the individual accomplishments on the playing fields, in the classroom, in music, in other activities, and in their personal lives, it's incredible what this class has already accomplished on our little piece of earth. Well, now it's time to begin our expedition. The sky is ours. The trials and triumphs of our school years were just a way to test our wings, and now we are ready to inherit our piece of sky and the world that goes along with it. I would like to thank you all for the opportunity to know and befriend so many different and special people. And I know that when I see you all see many of you in the future and see how successful and happy you have become, I will be proud and humbled to be able to say that I was your classmate. I will miss you all, and North Penn will miss you all. I would like to leave you with a quote from singer-songwriter Billy Joel, who says, "And so it's time to change our ways, but I've loved these days."
Will you please rise and join us in singing the first verse of the Alma Mater, which is printed in your program.
To keep their honor God. Friends, family, faculty, administrators, and members of the graduating class of 1989, good evening. Tonight, our 13 years of public education draw to an end as we move closer to being called official graduates of North Penn High School. Tomorrow brings a new dawn for us. Let us reflect for a moment upon the past. We have many accomplishments to be proud of, not only as a class, but as individuals. Do you recall your first days in elementary school? Do you remember the day when you first learned to say the letters of the alphabet in correct sequential order? Or when you read your first Dr. Seuss book and then spoke in rhyme for the rest of the day? Moving into the middle school, you learned to adjust to a bell schedule and to move around for classes instead of having one teacher in one classroom for the entire day. Can you still feel your disappointment when you kept waiting to be dismissed for recess, only to discover that recess was no longer a part of the curriculum? Then you entered junior high school. You adjusted to not only a whole new environment, but a whole new set of students as well. Finally, at North Penn High, we started as sophomores, wandering the hallways, colliding into nearly everything in our pathway, because our eyes were glued to a paper map in front of us. Do you remember the first time you naively asked a smiling senior for directions to the cafeteria? You thought that the smile was reflective of a trustworthy, innocent individual, but you later learned the real reason for that smile when you ended up in the swimming pool with a bag of lunch in your hand. From then on, you asked only faculty for help. Our sophomore year was a period for rapid adjustment. We signed up for a few activities, but we never went all out because we were still situating ourselves, getting used to a new environment. However, things began to change in our junior year. We had more confidence in ourselves, so that we not only made a whole new circle of friends, but we began to get involved as well in clubs or sports. As a senior, we continued this growth, and now we are on the verge of graduation. The 3 years in high school were difficult, but we made it through with the love from our parents, with help from our teachers, and with support from our teachers, and with, quote, a little help from our friends. Whether working, attending college, or going into the armed services, a bright future lies ahead for all of us, a future with many possibilities. Take advantage of these various possibilities. Remember that second chances are often hard to come by in life. With graduation from high school, we are being provided with a second chance. So let us make full use of it. Let us invest in future memories. Let us make the future unforgettable so that 10 years from now, we'll be able to look back and say we have no regrets. To you, the class of 1989, I say it's been indeed a memorable 13 years. I wish each of you the best of luck. Thank you.
Members of the faculty and staff of the North Penn School District, members and friends of the graduating class of 1989, good evening. You are here this evening to witness what is traditionally recognized as the official point at which we, as members of the high school graduating class, pass from the receiving to the giving phase of life. Over the past number of years, our educational lives have been directed and fed largely by our parents and the faculty of buildings such as this one. Although the educational process is a perpetual one, it is now that most of us will go out into the world on our own and put to use the resources that we have gained. I would like to paraphrase and relate to our situation tonight the story contained in the first few chapters of the Old Testament book of Nehemiah. Nehemiah lived during a time during which his race was being held captive in a foreign land. He received word that Jerusalem, the holy city, was in ruins. After prayer, Nehemiah petitioned the foreign king for permission to go and rebuild the city, also for materials with which to reconstruct and manpower to help him with his task. These were granted him, and he commenced work. The destruction of Jerusalem was in such an advanced state that rebuilding it was almost as great a task as building it in the first place. Faced with this discouraging reality, coupled with the mocking threats of malicious armies camped outside the city, Nehemiah could have been overwhelmed with defeat quite easily. However, he and his compatriots put their materials to good use and, relying on the help of God, rebuilt the city. You do not need me to inform you as to the myriad of walls that lie in ruins around us today. Literally, we read every day of great cities that are laid to waste. Figuratively, the moral foundations of our nation and others are crumbling under various controversial issues, some of which are pending in the courts even now. There is corruption in government, religion, social work. In fact, it is no understatement to say that some form of corruption lies ahead in whatever field we may enter in the future. And, as we have been told time and time again, we are the hope of the future. Therefore, it falls to us to clean out the Augean stables. And yet we too, like Nehemiah, may overcome this, our mammoth task. We in ourselves constitute a large graduating class. Combined with others like us, we certainly do not lack the manpower for the job. And as I mentioned, our experiences in this building and others like it have provided us with the education that is essential to the pursuance of our task. And we have our individual and collective faith on which to rely. At first glance, the walls which we are called to rebuild may seem to have disintegrated beyond repair. However, the theme that was chosen for this evening, A Piece of Sky, also speaks of a goal that seems physically unattainable and applicably requires us to dare to use the gifts and knowledge that we have toward that goal's fulfillment. The theme assures us that if we do not wholeheartedly work toward our goal, it will remain beyond our reach, but that in response to an effort on our part, the most amazing things will happen. Alan and Marilyn Bergman, the authors of the theme, also mention that it is safer not to try for the piece of sky, lest we should fall. For yes, our work will be mocked and threatened by armies like those encountered by Nehemiah centuries ago. But the job can be done. It is my prayer tonight that we all, with the help of God, will use the materials that we have been given to their and our fullest potential. Rise up and build. God bless you.
Good evening. On behalf of the Board of School Directors, I welcome parents, family members, teachers, administrators, and friends of the class of 1989. To the members of the North Penn class of '89, I offer our warmest congratulations on a job well done. We know that hard work and dedication have gone into your achievements evidenced here tonight, and urge you to continue to learn and to strive toward your goals. Each one of you is a unique individual, and we hope that you will hold on to that which makes you special as you journey through your future. One of the characteristics of youth is the reassuring but mistaken belief that you have all the time in the world to do what you want to do and to realize your potential. But there is not one of us here tonight who can know how much time we will have, time to dream our dreams, to see them become reality, and to become the person that we know we can be. This is not meant to discourage you, but rather to urge you to go after what you want out of life, to take the risk, and to look and dream beyond your piece of the sky. We hope you will take the time to enjoy the things of youth and the beauty of the world and those in it, but do not stray far from the path that is taking you where you want to be and helping you to become who you want to be. We send you on your way tonight with our best wishes and with the hope that the challenges awaiting you will be met with success and will bring each one of you fulfillment and happiness. Good luck to all of you.
A Piece of Sky by Alan and Marilyn Bergman. Tell me where is it written what it is I am meant to be, that I can dare? It all began the day I found that from my window I could only see a piece of sky. I stepped outside and looked around. I never dreamed it was so wide or even half as high. The time had come to try my wings, and even though it seemed at any moment I could fall, I felt the most amazing things, the things you can't imagine if you've never flown at all.
Though it's safer to stay on the ground, sometimes where danger lies, there the sweetest of pleasures are found. No matter where I go, there'll be memories that tug at my sleeve. But there will also be more to question, yet more to believe. The more I live, the more I learn. The more I learn, the more I realize, the less I know. Each step I take, each page I turn, each mile I travel only means the more I have to go. What's wrong with wanting more? If you can fly, then soar. With all there is, why settle for just a piece of sky?
Have you ever, or can you imagine, a classier group of young people than these 719 in front of you? Notice you notice when that beach ball came out that they didn't do it when someone was talking. See, that's the kind of respect we teach. But I better have seen the last one. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to present the diplomas to these 719 young people. We want you to know that we have professional photographers who will be taking an individual shot of each person as they get their diploma. So that means that you parents who happen to be in the 17th row don't have to worry about it. because you will have an opportunity to buy a shot, okay? So don't worry about the picture. The other thing is, and this is important, I keep mentioning the number 719, but we don't have 719. We have 719 individuals, one no more or less important than the other. Now, we're going to call 719 names, and we're going to do it quickly, but you will know the name of every person in this class because we think it's important. I beg you for your indulgence, your patience, and let's make everybody in this room somebody tonight. I would ask Mrs. Pat Davis, President of the School Board, to join Mr. Twyford, Assistant Principal for the 12th grade on that side, while Mr. Lassen reads the names over at that podium. And I would ask Dr. Rhodes, Superintendent of Schools, to join me as Mrs. Mamarella reads the names on this side. Everybody is somebody at North Penn High School, gang.
Matthew J. Daly.
Darren Sean Nice.
Karen Lynn Kinsey.
Francine Dominique Herter.
William Vincent Kraft.
Randy John D'Angelo.
Katrina Marie Jones.
Deborah Elizabeth Peacall.
John S. Hurd.
Bradley John Dice.
Rebecca Ann Curley.
Jennifer Marie Delciato.
Thomas A. Benner.
Darrell J. Goss.
Andrea R. Tweedy.
Robin Lee Marinsky.
David J. Horan.
Jonathan Ivan Lupo.
Mary Elizabeth Kent.
Colleen Susanna McKernan.
Andrew G. Kroll.
Justin Lewis Connect.
Karen Marie Wolfley.
Holly Ann Mumford.
Darius B. Ritchie.
Thomas Pledger Redstreak.
Karen Lee Kratz.
Maureen Catherine McNulty.
Michael Forrest Melody.
Mark Stewart Dimmick.
Susan Bake.
Madeline Sue Homan.
Michael Joseph McAleer.
Michael J. Hagenbook.
Christine Marie Salerno.
Megan Amelie Menti.
Scott Dinsmore.
Eric Ladley.
Calista Deanna.
Maria Angelica Garcia.
John W. Mealing.
Jeffrey Glenn Stites.
Dolores A. Delonzo.
Lisa Ann Pasquarello.
Nick W. Downey.
Scott Sine.
Tanya J. English.
Michelle Donnell DeGraw.
Aaron J. Foster,
Gerald Arthur Laufer,
Jennifer Stacy Campbell,
Robin Louise Barrett,
Scott Hosgood,
Andrew James Ramsey,
Heather B. Giardinelli,
Wendy Lynn Legrot,
Andrew M. Kloss,
Richard Bowers,
Nicole M. Carey,
Lynn Allison Muller,
Min A. Thane,
Eric Frank Meacham,
Anne Mary Varghese,
Stephanie Morse,
Richard A. Russo,
Sean Simmers,
Jean Hahn,
Lisa Marie Holtz,
Michael Thacker,
Carl Anthony Russo,
Sarah Lynn Rector,
Wendy Elizabeth Gillette,
Richard C. Shotwell,
Michael James Foley Jr.,
Heather M. Siders,
Dana Marie Brown,
Stephen Joseph Reber,
Keith R. Weiss,
Barbara Ann Law,
Kathleen Marie Turner,
Thomas H. Raines, Jr.,
Brian W. Denny,
Sonia V. Ristick,
Carolyn S. Williams,
Gabriel Rispo,
Matthew M. Mason,
Franzi M. Von Sveren,
Amy B. Worthington,
Glenn DeLong,
Michael A. Vona,
Elizabeth M. Starpoli,
Kathy Marie Ward,
Daniel S. Coles,
Richard Wayne Reimers, Jr.,
Desiree C. Leitz,
Heather Ann Roberts,
Jonathan David Washko,
Charles Anthony Durham,
Heather Eileen Hopkins,
Zakiya Marie Washington,
Paul E. Stewart,
James Randall Mahaffey,
Elizabeth Lynn Purdy,
Monique May Newman,
Donovan Gallagher,
Timothy Christopher Sleer,
Dana Suzanne Price,
Lotheling Leanne Tanner,
Ravikaran M. Patil,
Brian Christopher Rumkevichus,
Susan Ann Ruderman,
Francis Jean Pancoast,
Ralph Christian Harvey,
John Paul LeBrock,
Jennifer Lynn Archambault,
Jennifer Jane Camburn,
Gary Edwin Alcott,
Brian Scott Riemel,
Selena Chan,
Kathleen Paula Delvicio,
Christopher Lillis,
Jonathan Paul Herb,
Silvana Rosas,
Jill Marie Crawford,
David Patrick DeFusco,
Jeffrey Ross Trachtman,
Erin Elizabeth Downey,
Christy Lynn Allen,
Edgar F. Velez,
Martin Luther Dilworth,
Leanne Catherine Barnes,
Kendra Denise Bond,
William Allen Haig,
Joe Jean-Baptiste,
Dana Lynn Jaros,
Camille Lavette Haywood,
David E. Yeager,
Gary Lynn Mills Jr.,
Shannon Laurel Brown.
Janine Deirdre Watson.
Darren Christopher Griswold.
Joseph Ray Tedesco.
Hillary Denise Rubin.
Maria C. Manios.
Jack Robert Garfinkel.
Scott E. Lane.
Renee Beth Calvestrand.
Jennifer Ann Wolf.
Jason Gregory Richards.
Timothy Brian Paulin.
Jill Kimberly Vasily.
Amy Joanne Beck.
John David Vasily.
Gregory Glenn Wirt.
Beth Ann McConnell.
Tammy Lee Smith.
Craig Allen McGee.
Jason Lee Kratz.
Linda Ann Krelovich.
Tammy Louise Kratz.
Jeffrey Scott McGee.
Nathan Irwin Rubenkamp.
Deborah Jean Curtis.
Tina Marie Pignoli.
Bruce Adam Redmond.
Matthew Paul Jones.
Amy Jean Kemper.
Carrie Lynn Canavan.
Ryan Edward Lute.
Brian Michael Schumacher.
Emily Sue Ellen Gates.
Alice Pauline Bingaman.
Jason Dennis Harkin.
Keith Chad Serrano.
Laura Jean Palmerio.
Renee Lynn Carr.
Scott Robert Troxel.
James P. Haupt.
Janelle Rachel Angelillis.
Maureen Beth Hogan.
Michael Kemp Murphy.
David Bruce Haywood, Jr.
Nancy Lorraine Home.
Kimberly Ann Somar.
Benjamin C. Auker.
Robert Nathan Bodenschatz.
Deirdre Marie McDermott.
Bonnie Lynn Call.
Otis L. Lee.
Stephen Roy Fink.
Kathleen Marie O'Shea.
Michelle Marie Labick.
William Malcolm Anders III.
Floyd John Herman.
Christine Bradley.
Angela Marie Hefferon.
Michael Ernest Carlin.
Scott B. Fenimore.
Yu Kong Kim.
Carla Jean Lentz.
T. Christopher Siselka.
Peter Charles Zatko.
Seema Desai.
Christine Lee Reinmiller.
Craig Matthew Munson.
Christopher James Augeri.
Mary Christine Sellers.
Paula Jeannie Marchese.
Brian Nicholas Smith.
John Anthony McVan.
Suzanne Marie Birdsell.
Rachel Ann Orose.
Brian Keith Nace.
Adam Richard Kahn.
Tammy Lynn Ziegler.
Donna Marie Nelson.
Brian C. Green.
Michael C. Clark.
Denise C. Wiley.
Dawn Marie Watson.
William Frederick Schmidt.
Douglas John Kovac.
Stacy Lynn Smith.
June Melina Ansanian.
Brady James Lobsher.
Brian Richard Chapkovich.
Monica Dulcinea Hill.
Julianne Elizabeth Lehman.
Marcus Richard Owens, Jr.
Matthew Edward Barnes.
Catherine Ann Blum.
Gwen Elizabeth Wolfe.
James H. Kuno.
James Lawrence Chutchman.
Lisa Sue Allison.
Stacy Robin Becker.
Kevin Lawrence DeStefano.
John C. Reichert.
Renee Maria Messa.
Trussie S. Durham.
David Craig Overholtzer.
Vincent Paul Freeman.
Amy Lynn Walls.
Jennifer Gail Miller.
Jamie Lee Weitzel.
James Daniel Gans.
Josanna Lee Latshaw.
Colleen Marie Devlin.
Douglas Winthrop Fletcher.
John M. Deeby.
Krista Lynn Verzel.
Courtney Kenworthy.
David Allen Carr.
Ken J. Wan On.
Tamara Lee Snyder.
Sang Ah Lee.
Andres Miguel Shopper.
Ho Hyung Nam.
Heather Stacy O'Donnell.
Hasik Julie Kim.
Andrew Paul Sin.
James Mark Dockstader.
Jennifer Leela McBride.
Stacy Marie Matsack.
Irvin Robert Vino.
Michael Anthony Staropoli.
Stephanie Renee Robson.
Wendy Lee Schnabel.
Peter John Cleland.
Stephen Paul Mundy.
Kimberly Ann Endlick.
Kathy Lee Petrus.
Adrian Douglas Gordon.
Clarence James Horn.
Kimberly Janet Feltz.
Wendy Ann Taylor.
Matthew Richard Michael.
Michael Sean McDonald.
Cammie Lynn Holzhauser.
Tiffany Michelle Ebengay.
Mark Ryan Beer.
Noel Lawrence Silber.
Danielle Heilweil.
Melissa Marie Wenzel.
Urbane Vandenbroek.
Hassan Adel Riyad.
Linda Jean Spurring.
Susan Bell Kern.
William Houston Robertson.
Song Kim.
Elisa Lynn Riccio.
Son Young Hong.
Jeffrey Vincent Parks.
Duck Woo Park.
Heather Jean Birch.
Sandra Jacqueline Hammerman.
Colby Dransfield.
Frank Swider.
Catherine Grace Dunsweiler.
Karen Marie Zimmerman.
Andrew S. Bortz.
Joseph Lazawicki.
D. Jean Bernhard.
Joanne Marie Olexa.
Sam Murphy.
Michael Dario LaGreca.
Anne Marie Liebel.
Dolores Jean Beagle.
Clement Scott Allard.
David Daniel Robinson Jr.
Deanna Victoria Allen.
Marcy Lee Rosenstein.
Robert Andrew Falk.
Randall Owen Bouguet.
Jennifer Elizabeth McGilloway.
Cherish Marie Calland.
Chong H. Kim.
Vance Cochran Bailey.
Jennifer Lynn Catile.
Ellen Marie DeVirgilis.
Dean S. Huffman.
Robert Keith Gilmer, Jr.
Lorianne Cadis Schatz.
Anita Denise Chiato.
Stephen Glenn Corbett.
Stephen Rocco Grenice.
Julie Elizabeth Snyder.
Patricia Ann Long.
Craig Vielhauer.
Christopher Scott Hellings.
Von Nugent.
Natalie Ann Dancer.
Alexander P. Smiley.
Michael Scott Gaiman.
Johanna Casey.
Heather Nicole Swanker.
Brent Robert Schwartz.
Ronell Acosta.
Jill Diane Suter.
Shalene Geneva Manning.
John Matthew Schmink.
Neil R. Weininger.
Kelly Ann Pellick.
Cindy Lou Gerhart.
Todd Eric Lemon.
Eric Grendel Buchanan.
Lori Ann Dinan.
Tracy Lynn Horos.
Darren Kent.
Charles E. Cox, Jr.
Monica Ann Bell.
Amanda A. Zaha.
Jeremy Stephen Ferber.
Kwame Michael Addo.
Kathy Maschantonio.
Tony Lee Tunstall.
Sam A. Bardisi.
Philip Stephen Jackson.
Sheila Galford.
Atrell Lisa Farrell.
James P. Cryer.
Donald Brett Hendricks.
Audrey Joy Campbell.
Kathleen Griffin.
John Douglas Nice.
Daniel Gerald Kelly.
Jennifer Suzanne Nickel.
Tara Lee Rosenberger.
Douglas Nelson Conley.
Leonard Bruce Siegel.
Tiffany Noel Patty.
Heather Margaret Klein.
William J. Wilson.
James Warren Munsell.
Amanda Davies Wind.
Heather Ann Wiley.
Craig Douglas Terry.
Gary Glenn Culp.
Leslie Dara Burgard.
Michelle Teresa Adams.
Alex A. Pilkington.
Christopher N. Lampatak.
Stacy Lee Ogden.
Jennifer Lee McLean.
Matthew Joseph Meehan.
Sean Michael Duffy.
Angela Talencho.
Amy Kathleen Bradley.
Gary Francis Tyson.
Robert John Miller.
Wendy Joy Levitz.
Denise Laura Moretz.
Wu J. Park.
Stephen Todd Hulsenbach.
Sandy Hunju Yum.
Lisa Ann Walter.
Anthony W. Bruix.
William F. Morrow.
Christine Louise Belcher.
Tiffany Lynn Hedrick.
William Curtis Bowen.
David L. Zellner.
Kristen Aaron Bowen.
Tara Ann Slater.
Brian P. Campbell.
J. E. Casarano.
Heather Lynn Wolf.
Nancy Suzanne Gottwalls.
Nicola Philip Payon.
Anthony Thomas Cochamilio.
Melanie Lynn Cox.
Sherry Lynn Heath.
James Francis Regan.
Alex C. Adolph.
Amy Elizabeth Valentine.
Ann W. Newman.
Mark Anthony Zuccaro.
Thomas Patrick McCauley.
Selena Marguerite Zeno.
Tracy Ann Carr.
Edward Woodruff Muntz.
Justin Childs.
Melissa Jill Moyer.
Brenna Danette Creamer.
Eric William Parker Jr.
Jason Ward.
Erica Monique Alston.
Amy Catherine Mongeau.
Christian Grant Campbell.
Patrick Shouders Gorham.
Tracy Elaine Boehner.
Wendy Marie Haney.
Brian John Fakish.
Jeffrey Stephen Hom.
Christine Caroline Buckmaster.
Diane Kirchman.
David William Patterson.
Peter K. Sanders.
Susan Marie Peters.
Christine Marie Schemp.
Charles D. Williams.
Michael Blaze Kelly.
Radhika Parish Atit.
Colleen Marie Kane.
Jason Forsyth.
Jeffrey Daniel James.
Heidi Ruth Doheny.
Jennifer Lynn Hager.
Rafael De Akia.
Kevin Andrew Hassan.
Kristen Dana Henderson.
Sandra Jean Davies.
Daniel Joseph Spicer.
Frederick John McIntosh Jr.
Kira Lynn Kratz.
Linda Jean Giersch.
Jeffrey Wayne Wasser.
Donald R. Gerhart.
Jennifer Lawson.
Kimberly Sue Baker.
John Karras.
Tor Jurgen Albright.
Dawn Helene Tarter.
Susan Ann Rice.
Mark Senzinger.
Jeffrey D. Thompson.
Carol Ann Lowen.
Amy Susan Richards.
Owen William Farmer III.
James Michael Quinn.
Dawn Marie Catarius.
Kathleen Marie Glass.
James Joseph Alexander.
Jennifer Winfrey.
Kimberly Dawn Mishler.
Jennifer Ellen Simmons.
Daniel William Fredericks.
Deborah Jean Simeon.
Melissa Jean Fox.
Melissa Sine.
William Richard Hartnett.
Eric William Magaziner.
Janet Roxanne Curley.
Tanya Marie Shaponik.
Thomas E. Gallo III.
Christian Evans John.
Renee Marie Brechtel.
Christine Elizabeth Hyatt.
Harold Brent Musselman.
Jonathan Charles Kohler.
Jennifer K. Fouts.
Jill Margaret Maxwell.
David Owen Ulmer.
Glenn Martin Ruckert.
Elizabeth Ann Tolasi.
Jennifer Ann Rudder.
Lisa. Sean Clothier.
Jason Lawrence Leakites.
Lisa Helene Hill.
Jennifer Ann Rowe.
Michael H. Lee.
Anthony Robert Dobeck.
Christine Ann Ludwig.
Kathleen Tracy Staley.
Rob R.R. Rotunda.
Mike Rasta Eckroth.
Kathleen A. Venetz.
Denise K. Harper.
James R. Flango.
Timothy John Foley.
Dawn Ann Stockert.
Jessica Ann Suckle.
Robert Thomas Stewart.
Jeffrey Richard Shands.
Beth Ann Stike.
Donna Lynn Tomchak.
Christopher Lewis Maida.
David J. Locker.
Tanya Sue Smith.
Christine M. Roy.
Edward G. Gavin.
Albert H. Weichel III.
Cindy Ann Graw.
Christine L. Leahy.
Matthew J. Harp.
Nathan J. Fisher.
Carol Ann Emma Trummel.
Cynthia E. Euler.
Daniel J. Deal.
Sean M. Wesley.
Heather Breen.
Jennifer Ann Schaefer.
Bradley Garwood Hoover.
Vipul D. Rathod.
Julie Michelle Jansen.
Dawn Michelle Walker.
Scott Joseph Borzer.
Paul Robert Henry.
Tracy Ann Strupp.
Amy Elizabeth Fuller.
Fee Lee.
Lance Perkins.
Krista Blayhut.
Melissa Janet Dunsmore.
Diego Romani.
Stephen Joseph Fedek.
Michelle Marie Gibbs.
Justine Fegley.
Michael David Corson.
Bruce Martilick.
Christine Elizabeth Lohr.
Kristen Noel Unruh.
John William Schukert.
Roy Adams.
Martha French Luoma.
Maria Lou Rivera.
Jeffrey David Finn.
Brian Aldridge.
Casey Michelle Gesregan.
Carrie Ann Choice.
John Stanley Hicks.
Timothy Michael Tumulty.
Holly Channon.
Christine Tacanelli.
Eric Grant Tedesco.
Michael William Petoza.
Lisa Marie Kiselovich.
Paula Lee Weiss.
William Floyd Hazel.
Eric William McKeever.
Elaine Elizabeth Zemansky.
Dana Beth Levin.
William James Buck.
Matthew James Winfelder.
Jennifer Ann Conley.
Marita Gornicka.
Michael Aucoin.
Kenneth Wayne Mawson, Jr.
Tanya Steigler.
Karen Elizabeth Frankel.
Justin Livesey.
Frank Michael Quinn.
Ruth Gallagher.
Alicia June Prakowski.
Stephen J. Martin.
Jason Thomas Swartz.
Jillian Lee Molatier.
Kimberly Ann Lashaw.
Joseph Lorenzo Pileggi.
David Stiles Starkula.
Stephanie Ann Firth.
Melissa Ann Kemp.
Andrew Joseph Allen, Jr.
Timothy Andrew Weston.
Amy Lynn Narducci.
Nicole Lynn Smith.
Chris L. Cantano.
Russell Clark Grayson.
Lisa Ann McHugh.
Laura Renee Geiges.
Jeffrey Robert Markulek.
Thomas Michael Jaggers.
Terry Lynn Papp.
Andrea Lynn Nagel.
Scott David Richards.
Jeffrey William Shaw.
Catherine Jean Cashman.
Jennifer Leslie Town.
Richard Stephen DeSembrino.
Ronald Christopher Crispo.
Jennifer Ann Kiola.
Jennifer Lynn.
Jitesh V. Patel.
Mark Allen Taylor.
Rosemarie Feldmeyer.
Rachel Susan Lyon.
Niranjan M. Patel.
Corey Lee Trauger.
Tracy Lee Thomas.
Song Min Lim.
Robert Edwin Fulcher.
Jagdish N. Dudhat.
Sonia K. Griever.
Shannon Aline Mack.
Mark Benjamin Sanfelice.
June H. Kim.
Cheryl Ann Simsick.
Lauren Elaine Chalmers.
Jason Ezra Brader.
Profule M. P. Patel.
Colleen Marie Luthi.
Sandra Diane Clayton.
Gregory Scott Shelton.
Sombath Sam Tha.
Stephanie Marie Ramsey.
Robin Lynn Powers.
Jeffrey Stephen Ward.
Andrew Brian Lakier.
Anne Marie Phillips.
Jennifer Lynn Pilgermeyer.
Christopher Scott Quartnick.
Scott S. Steelhammer.
Jill Davidson Kewen.
Kimberly Alexa Quartnick.
Lachlan Thomas McIntosh.
Dan Stabinski.
Lisa Marie Pham.
Jenny Ruiz.
Jean Nauer.
Lee Ann Galaris.
Joanne Marie Green.
Amy McMasters.
Melissa Ann Tacker.
Karen A. Shimmick.
Michelle Lynn Boyer.
Renee Diana Lenzi.
Michelle Lynn Evans.
Andrea Jean Lewinger.
Suzanne Carey Cleary.
Sue Yun Kim.
Andrea Carol Whipple.
Lori Elizabeth Reese.
Heather Lee McGowan.
Eileen Marie Steinauer.
Jennifer Geddes Wicks.
Allie Kirsten Pasquale.
Paula Elizabeth Goff.
Renee Therese Gabrielle.
Nicole Regina Kramer.
Nicole Adrian Riley.
Krista Isabel Honeyman.
Betty Lou Spear.
Juliet Holiday Jones.
Marnie Regina Senior.
Andrea Cheryl Morgan.
Jane Helena Scott.
Rodney Scott Rhodes.
Rebecca Elise DM.
Michelle Lee Zender.
Crystal Mackey Bardis.
Roger B. Sorois.
Jane Allison Stout.
Anna Marie Faison.
Gloria Ann Staffordson.
Denise Ann Patricia Howard.
Jody Lynn Dixon.
Lisa C. Frisco.
Bernadette Elizabeth Brecht.
Corey Jean Stroline.
Tracy Lynn Rossi.
Elizabeth Lynn Leach.
Jennifer Lynn Wickersham.
Karen Deborah White.
Michelle Lynn House.
Kelly Ann Wood.
Bobby Grace Nicholson.
Jill Christina Zabinski.
Allison Lynn Price.
Andrea Marie Wilczynski.
Carl D. Smith.
Hold on. And now, the officers of the class And now, the officers of the class of 1989, Class Secretary Heather Flora Harrison.
Class Treasurer Melissa Ann Wetzel.
Class Vice President Joseph S. Calarco.
Before we announce the president, because I know it's going to happen after that, in absentia, we'd like to congratulate Gerald Gentile, Matthew Harfman, David Krail, who's in Germany as an exchange student at this time, and Michelle Leibel.
And your class president, S. Christopher Ralphs.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a little more business to take care of, so as soon as you folks are ready, we will do that. And I don't know about you, gang, but I have a party waiting for me. So, if you would give us another minute and a half, we can have this finished. At this time, I'd like to call on our superintendent of schools, who will, in fact, confer upon you your diplomas. Following that, Joe Calarco will lead you in the turning of the tassels. Following that,
I am pleased and honored to attest that these students have successfully completed all requirements for graduation. Therefore, by the power vested in me as a commissioned officer of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I declare all of you officially graduated from the North Penn School District.
I'd like to say just one thing before we go on with the changing of the tassel. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. If the next 3/4 of our lives are as exciting as the 1/4 I've already lived, we're going to be very, very happy people. And now, I will ask you to all join me and change your tassel, if I can find it.
Congratulations, class 1989.
Congratulations.
They're all yours, ladies and gentlemen.
It's yesterday.